it feels really, really nice and clean and easy to use. But let's just start with the navigation. So I think the navigation is fine how it is. The one thing that I would do is change shop all to shop women's, shop men's, shop kids, because if I didn't see this image here on Instagram and then another image of a child wearing your products, I wouldn't know that you sold them. So break it down by gender. Even if the men's products are maybe unisex, you could have unisex instead of men's if that's what you prefer. Really nice imagery. As I said before, the one thing I would do is swap out this banner image for this one here, because this one feels a lot more fun, inspirational, and motivational, which I noticed is in the copy about your brand down the bottom. So I think you can really bring that through and show that by switching up the imagery to, one like this that just, it feels uplifting. Also, this text here about inspiring and motivating is really good. I would take this and put that here on the banner as the large text, and then you could have Ryzn collection as the smaller text underneath. Another thing that I thought would be really cool for your site is to play around with your call to action. So instead of having shop now, you could have release your inner athlete, or something along those lines. Again, something that feels inspirational and uplifting, that fits with your brand. So you're really demonstrating your brand values and what you stand for. Sorry, I got a little bit sidetracked. Let's go back to the navigation. Navigation is really good. Men's, unisex, women's, kids, break it down. Still have the sub collections as you do as a drop down, which is great. But also another thing you could add up here is a currency converter. I see that you ship to Australia, so you don't have to have all of the currencies. You could just have a switcher that's turned on for Australian dollars only. Just makes it easier for people to buy in their own currency. Another thing you could do is add a wish list. It seems like you're targeting women and mums who aren't always that willing or ready to spend money on themselves. So if you have a wish list, a lot of them allow you to collect the email address and then email those people, hey, you left this in your wish list, come back and buy it, send them special offers to convert the sale, things like that. In the footer, you've got your returns policy and privacy policy, which is fantastic. We just need to add the terms and conditions in there. There is a sample template you can get from Shopify, which is sufficient for most people's use, but read through it. I can't advise you on the legalities of your terms and conditions. So make sure that you're happy with what they say yourself before just diving in and using the Shopify option. You've got your newsletter sign up here, which is great, but could you offer something to entice people to sign up? Just signing up for a newsletter, isn't an exciting proposition. Maybe sign up for weekly fitness inspiration, sign up for our 1 month fitness challenge, sign up for a guide on how to use resistance bands, something that makes sense for your product and for your brand and your customer avatar. Okay. So in terms of design, we talked about that top banner and potentially switching out that image if you're comfortable with that, and using some benefit text that talks about how the brand makes you feel and why it exists up here. Playing a bit around with the call to actions to add in that inspirational and fun piece. Another thing which you probably can't see on the loom, but is your favicon. So that little icon that sits on the tab with like a little logo, yours is squashed, so it needs to be resized to 32 by 32 pixels and re-uploaded in your theme settings. Another thing is sometimes when we've got kind of an oblong rectangle logo, it can be a little bit hard to fit that in that 32 by 32 pixel space. So you can just use part of the logo. Like Shopify has the little bag with the S on it. You could just potentially have the little arrow, and people will come to recognize that that's part of your logo and part of your branding. Here on this section, coming up for hoodies, coming up for summer in New Zealand, I would probably change hoodies and sweatshirts out for something else, potentially your most popular products, and call it popular products, best sellers, something along those lines, and replace the hoodies and sweatshirts just so it's a bit more seasonal. I would also add in a guide about how to use the resistance bands, because not everyone will know, and I would keep that very close to the product. So I would have the resistance bands where you have them here, and then add in another email sign up in here and have the call to action: learn how to use a resistance band, get the booty results you want with the resistance booty band, something along those lines, something again that makes sense for your avatar but really drives people to sign up, collect their email address, and deliver that to them either as a PDF guide or as even as a quick video tutorial on how to do it. Okay. Another thing that you could then add in underneath that is, just so that we've got a nice flow, we've got our best-selling products, which are maybe, a tights, sports bra, and a hoodie, and then you've got the resistance band, and then underneath that you've got your resistance band guide, and then underneath that I would do a bundle. So I would do a tight sports bra, resistance band and the free guide for a single price as a bundle. Encourage people to shop the whole thing, add it to their cart. You could even use something like Shop the Look and have an image where it has all of those things, or one of your models using all of those products, wearing all of those products. They can shop the look, click, add them all to their cart for a single bundle price, and that'll help raise your average order value and provide some actual value to your customer by potentially giving them a discount, but also the guide, so it's that higher perceived value. Another thing in terms of design that I noticed, which is not on this page, let's go to Shop All. I would link that Shop All because as you would have seen, I had to click on it a couple of times before I realized it wasn't going to take me to the Shop All page. So just link it to collections/all to get to this page as well. But what I was going to say is this sales text in blue is a little hard to read and doesn't really stand out that much, and you should really show people that this is on sale. So I would change that to the orange that you've used on the other buttons, just to make that really, really clear and easy for people to see, oh, this is on sale, and prompt them to have a look at what you've got going on. Okay, so the collection page is fine. You are a little bit limited with the filters you have on this theme. So you could look at a filter app and then have a filter that sits down the side where people can filter by size, color, gender, activity, things like that. The more filter options you have, the easier it is for people to find what they're looking for, the easier it is for them to find, the easier it is for them to buy. Let's have a look at a product page. Okay, so you've got lay-by and afterpay, which is great. Having as many payment options as possible is always a bonus. You've also got the buy now button, and that's above the fold, which is really good stuff. With your product description, crop design hoodie with embroidered Ryzn logo. This here is a feature, so I would start your product description with a benefit. So a benefit would be that you would keep warm during the cooler winter months when you're heading out for your workout, and you can layer the outfit to look cool whether you're relaxing or going to the gym. That is a benefit. That is why people buy products. They don't buy them because it's sometimes they do, but they generally buy on emotion rather than it's a cropped hoodie that's 350 GSM. Those features are really important and should definitely be a part of your product description, but just move them down. Lead with the emotional benefit, how you're going to fix their pain point, make their life better. Another really good thing you can do with the features is bullet point them, so we can just scan them and say, okay, it's a heavyweight hoodie, it's cropped, it's black, all that kind of stuff, just at a simple glance. Awesome that you've got the size guide here. I would move this model wears size small up closer to the size guide just because that information is related. And now I'm looking for how much is this going to cost me to ship. I see that you've got a little note up here about how long shipping is going to take, which is really, really good for setting those expectations, but also add in here, probably at the bottom, how much shipping costs based on where it's going, or if you have a flat rate shipping, the flat rate shipping cost, and then also a guideline on if you're in Auckland, it's going to take a day. If you're in Christchurch, it's going to take 2, that kind of thing. Okay, so some tactics we can use on the product page to help people convert is a stock countdown. So you've got quite a few products which are sold out, which, I mean, great, they're sold out. But if you add a stock countdown onto the product page, people are going to feel that urgency to buy it now. It's usually good to set that to show when there's less than 10 available to create that urgency, because if it says there's 100 available, there's probably not as much urgency as if there was only 10. So look into getting a stock countdown app that you can install. Another really important thing is social proof, and you can do that again with an app. One that I've been recommending a lot is called Yotpo. It allows you to set up an automatic email within the Yotpo system that goes out to your customers at a set interval. Usually 2 weeks is a good time to do that. So 2 weeks from when they receive the item, or 10 to 14 days. So if it takes 5 days for it to get to them, we want that email to go out at the 19-day mark and ask people to write a review. You can also ask people to submit photos through Instagram or whatever your preferred social media channel is, or by email. So the reviews would show at the bottom of the page. We would also have the little stars that would show up underneath the product name, which shows people instantly this is a highly rated product. And then with the images that you get submitted, You can use them as product images to show social proof, and then also on your own social media channel, so reshare it on Instagram and Facebook and all that kind of stuff. So that's the reviews. The bundles I kind of already touched on the homepage, but if these are all your products, if these are your tights and this is your hoodie, then we want to have a bundle where people can buy this whole look. And then also potentially a third item as well, which could be another product. If it's a hoodie, maybe a beanie would make sense because it's like a winter fitness pack. Or maybe it's another value add, like a guide or a video on something fitness related. Okay. And then what else did I have here? So with the resistance bands, accessories, this is a really, really minor thing, but I would add 3 fabric resistant booty bands. So add 3 to the product title, and then also have a sub heading here that says includes, and then have the 3 different sizes, because if I don't read this whole description, I think I'm only getting one, and I was originally thinking, well, which one do I choose? So I need light, medium, or heavy, which brings me to my next point. While people are getting all 3 sizes, it would be great if you could include some information like you have here for how to care for it, but how and when to use your band. So that could be part of the guide, and then you could link the guide for people to sign up and receive it on this page. Or it could just be a simple line of text with, we recommend you start out with the light for 3 months, and then when you feel comfortable, move to medium. Once you get to XYZ point in your fitness stage, move to the heavy, that kind of thing. The more information you give people, the easier it is for them to make that decision, and again, add it to their cart and continue shopping. So if we add this to cart, get our pop-up and we go to our cart page. On our cart page, there are also some apps we can get here that are going to allow people to add extra items. So if they've got a hoodie and a band in their cart like I do, is there another product you could add them saying these tights would look great with these items? And then there are apps where you can configure it. So if they have certain products added, it's going to recommend another certain product. So products that go together. So if you've got tights, get the matching sports bra, that kind of thing. That just again helps to raise your average order value. And another thing you can do on the cart, you've already got lay-by and afterpay installed. In the lay-by app that they have now, there's actually an option to turn on lay-by for your cart, and it'll say next to the price 6 easy payments of $7 or whatever it is on there. Again, just makes it easy for people to make that decision and buy. In terms of your content, I would definitely see how I can incorporate some more of that inspiration and motivation into the site, create a bit of a community, and really show that those brand values and why you created this brand and what it means. So a simple way to do that, you could add some quotes over these slider images. They're beautiful images, but they're not actually clickable. So other than being nice, they're not really that functional. So you could have a motivational quote and then have shop this outfit button underneath, where it takes them to the bundle that has these tights and this sports bra. You could also add a blog, and I'd recommend adding a blog just to help with your search engine optimization as well as demonstrating those brand values. On the blog, you could share inspirational stories from your customers, even from maybe celebrities that have embarked on a fitness journey recently and had some success. If that's a route you want to go down, encourage customers to again share pictures of themselves wearing, using your products. Then you can add that on your social media, on your product page, but also onto the blog and highlight them there, and they could potentially go in the draw to win something, something small to encourage them to share. And the great thing is that once you write a blog post, you can use it in multiple different ways. It's not you just write a blog post, you put it on the blog, and then you walk away. You write a blog post and then you break it down into 10 different points that you can use across social media. You use it as a standalone email where you remind people that you're there by sending them an email blast and including some products that are maybe mentioned in the blog post to encourage people to buy, and then you can curate the top 3 or 4 blog posts and send that out as part of a newsletter, and then also include some links to some products there as well. So one piece of content, multiple uses. So don't be overwhelmed by the thought of creating blog posts, because I know it does seem like, oh, it's quite a lot of work for something you may not see an instant return on. But how's with SEO? You can repurpose it. It's definitely worth the time. And then the last thing in terms of content is the contact us page. We just want to add a contact form, make it as easy as possible for people to get in touch. If you don't know how to create a contact form, on the page, there's a drop down on the bottom right hand corner called product template, and there'll be one in there called page.contact or something similar. Change the page template to that, and it'll add the form onto this page for you. Also, there's a lot of research that shows that customers that interact through an instant chat experience like mini chat or Tidio, a little Facebook chat bubble that shows up down here, are a lot more likely to buy. So maybe someone's, got a question like me, like how or when do I use the resistance band? If you can get them to interact with you, they're going to be more likely to then proceed with that purchase. So definitely look at adding in a chat bubble as well. All right, that is all I've got for you today. If you have any questions, let me know.